Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European FX crosses, and starting with the US dollar index. And what we're talking about over the last few days was looking at the top of wave 1 in play here and looking for an A and a B and a C back down roughly around the 95 area. The 95 is a midpoint, so it will offer good support, and that's what we're looking for. So from wave B down to wave C here, we're looking for 5 waves. So if you're looking for the exact target, then you'll need to drill in and find the 5 waves that get created for wave C here, and then we can look to the upside. So understanding this scenario here will help you with whatever other markets that you're trading. So the mirror image, well, with a bit of haze, was the euro here, and as we were talking about yesterday, we were looking for well, you know, what we did here was really sort of use the US dollar index count here, and that is looking at wave 1 on this low here and working a wave 2 back up to the 50-60% mark. But sometimes that the euro doesn't really reach its retracement. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I really think strongly that we need to consider the wave fall of 1 lesser degree here, and it can trade above this, but finding support on this may be a bit tricky. And the other thing too is finding 5 waves up through this little area through here. So yeah, well, I think we can just keep an eye on the US dollar index, but also start counting the 5 waves up. This is just a 15-minute chart. And yeah, look, it just could come up to here somewhere. I mean, I was looking at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and the third wave moving in through here. So there's going to be some sort of correction across the basically the pivot within group 1, the 2 here. So expect a corrective pattern here, and then a move up higher from that. The euro pound, yesterday we were talking about searching out a low, and we were looking in wave C here, and within wave C we were looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for a low. So we can look at being long from this point here. So I'll just put a little sort of buy signal in here just to trade in that direction. That's all. It's not anything in particular, but there's possibilities of moving up. So look, I mean, the next opportunity where the bus stops is at 73. So you can expect a classic trading levels pattern across the 73. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the A, B, and C, and then finding support on top of the level. And that would be the setup to go long from that point there. So I think what I'll do here is we'll just stick that on 70th, but basically just wait for that pullback there across the 73. Now the next market is the euro yen, and this is just on the 15-minute chart here. So you know the euro is pushing up. Well, this euro and the yen is quite weak, so we're seeing the euro against the yen move up reasonably strongly. Now once again here, there's probably further upside here, but once again expect a correction across the 135 area here before we see a move up. It can pull back to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree, and there's different ways to count this structure up here. I'm aware of that, but main point is that the 135, you can expect across the 5 here, also a midpoint as well. Expect a correction across here. And then if we're looking to the upside here, we could look at, I know it's a 61.8% at the top of this line here, but the 136.50 here. So to me, oddly enough, it's a 65 number here. So yeah, that would be a nice target to look for if you get support here after a corrective pattern here. Okay, the cable, we'd been looking, this is also on a 15-minute chart, and looking from the low here, and once again this probably a variety of ways to count this up through here, but the main point is that there's no overlapping wave structures between the previous lows and the previous highs. So we've got an impulse wave here, and we're looking for a corrective move back into this particular area here. There may be one more drop here, unless we can make it a little high. I mean, it should be complete, really, an A wave. What do we got here? One of the first things I like doing with a correction is finding the balance point, the balance line through it. You know, once you sort of establish something like this here, sort of like it just fits in the middle, you know, not a big deal, and then start working with the numbers over here. And that balance line is important because, you know, if the market can get back up above on that balance line, well, that will create a safe trade from that point. While it's under the balance line, then it's subject to a move down. So that's, and you know, basically we're looking at it to come into this box here, but obviously it's got good support here from these previous lows here. But anyway, it's looking a bit corrective here. But so that's 38. So you could probably nail that down onto that level there. So 15372, you could find that long on support there, adding on 8, adding on 454, and building up through subgroup 1 at that stage. But obviously we're not above the balance line yet, and it hasn't pulled back to its 50-60% retracement level yet either. So just wait for that. So getting there. The pound yen looks, haven't really changed this at all, same from yesterday. We're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and we're looking for an A wave and a B wave and a C wave back into this sort of 184 sort of area there. So don't get involved in that, just allow it to come back and then pick up the thread from that area there. The US dollar yen. Now, it's possible that there's a top in play here because, I mean, looking at it from this low here, I mean, this is not 5 waves coming down here. So this has really got, well, let me just double check. 1, 2. Yes, it could be. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously this pattern here is the same as stock indices, and we're expecting a sort of a deeper pullback in the indices and then a move up. So look, I've got a top from here to here, but so the short trade to be sure would be finding a reference point on a low below this balance line here. And this balance line is the pivot. It's always number 2 is going to be in this case a whole number here is going to be the pivot here. So that as a retested resistance would see the market down at that stage. So look for or wait for. I mean, if you see another high up here, then you can look to short from that point there. But otherwise, while it's in this little zone here, we need it under the level here. So you get a reference point there. Once you've got that, then you can set the order, set and forget, and walk away, and short from that area there. All right, well, look, that's it. It's all reasonably clean and simple and tidy and all those sorts of things. So you just got to wait for the right setups to get your timing right. Okay, cheers.